February 12th, calling Brad Wimpy Strip's office that we fund. It's actually our office that he's sitting in.
Hi, you have reached the
Now,
office
this is what you
of
get
Congressman Brad Wenstrup.
when you call
We
the
are
direct
currently
number.
unavailable. Please leave your name, address, phone number, and a brief message.
They're currently unavailable. Now, here, take that and dial that other. Brad Wenstrup, Ohio.
Connecting you to the office of Representative
Brad Wenstrup.
So we're trying it through the switchboard here. And we'll see if they answer.
dialing.
Congressman Wenstrup's office. How can I be of assistance?
Well, who am I speaking? Is that my buddy Charles?
Yes, this is. Is this Mr. Preston?
It is. I've missed you. Where you been?
Don't
say enjoying your weekend, because I don't want to hear that shit.
Usually I don't anymore.
Good. I don't want you to. I don't know how you could enjoy a weekend whenever we've got all this crap going on. I'm going to start with something that just recently, as in the last minute, kind of hit me. Charles, can you explain to me why that if I call that direct number for Wimpy Strip that it says that everybody's busy, but then whenever I go through the switchboard, then I get a hold of somebody? Why is that?
What do you mean, sir? Like, what time did you try calling, I guess? Because I haven't heard of this. We've usually never had issues with people calling the direct number and then being able to get us.
Well, Charles, let me state the obvious. Usually you don't have me informing you of these problems. Because let me assure you, you know what's happening right now? You already know this. There is so many Americans, not conservatives, not Democrats, because you can watch Democrats trying to figure out if they're conservative and what have you. It's an easy thing to figure out. We're Americans and we're sick of the bullshit. I mean, that's as simple as it gets. That's layman's terms. That's as simple as it gets. We're just fed up. And all the corruption and stuff has got to go. We need to start over. We need to get Brad out of there, get him out of the way, since what it is he thought, well, this gravy ride's over, so I need to get out of here. But I don't see him doing anything majorly important at a time that we really need majorly important things to happen. You know? And then I've been told by you and the other ones that if I go to Brad Wenstrup at DoSomething.com or whatever it is, but I can't find any important, significant thing that he's saying that he's doing for us, we the people, you know, that's about ready to become the minority. Because they're letting...
I'm sorry, were you not able to find the World Health Organization press conference remarks?
No. You know, and here's the thing. World Health Organization remarks about what? The world's health? Right now, let me assure you.
No, mostly he was focusing a lot on how kind of, they're in the pocket of the Chinese, how they are trying to infringe on American sovereignty. That was a lot of the main focus there.
Well, you know, that's really good. That's really good. I will still check into that, and I definitely will try to find that again, but to no avail. But we'll look again. It could be that, we didn't put in the right letter or something. We'll look again. But we want to know if he, in fact, has got with old Whiny up there, DeWiney, and about getting some whoever sent down to the border. Did we get that done yet?
Yeah, I thought I was able to help fill in a little bit there on what's been going on. I know you asked to follow up about state troopers, and I think in one of their releases. They said they sent about 12 state highway patrolmen down there, along with the National Guard, and they have actually, it appears, like I looked this up a bit more, they have a couple units. They have one down there for administrative, and they have one down there on the border as well. I'm trying to see if I can pull that up.
Be still my beating heart. We sent 18 troopers down there. Whew.
Yeah, but I unfortunately I couldn't tell you if that's a lot or that's a little.
Oh, well, here, you know what? Let me step in, Charles. Let me inform you. That's nothing. That ain't nothing. 18? Come on, think about it. What are you gonna protect or do with 18? You know what I mean? I would whoop 18 of their ass myself. I would. I'm telling you right now. Take off the power of the people uniform, and I'll whoop 18 of their asses by myself. No kidding. Now that brings me to something else that I wanted to inform Brad about that we, the people, definitely need to have done. There are murderers that are wearing the power of the people uniform. They're disguising themselves. They're hiding behind the people power uniform, which is, it's known as like cop uniforms, police uniforms. And I would never ever say anything against like a public servant, but whenever there's murderers, and I know this because I need for you to look this up so that you can show Brad exactly what I'm talking about. There is an Columbus, Ohio police sergeant, who jumps up on the hood of a woman's car and unloads the gun point blank right at the windshield and murders this driver of this car. Now, she was trying to get away, and he jumped up on the hood of the car and pulls out his weapon and unloads it right into this driver. Now, I had called and I tried to talk to somebody about it, which I wound up getting badge number 2424. I think the name was Green. So, fellow murderer Green, 2424 badge number. See, these people, somebody's going to say, oh, how heroic. Well, watch the film and then tell me if it's a heroic or not. Because, first of all, it doesn't tell you, like, what actually was going on. It just shows, these people power uniform wearers jumping up on vehicles and point blank murdering somebody. So you don't have any background story or whatever. Like, is this an invader to our country who just murdered a bunch of people? Is this like a school shooter who shot a bunch of kids and then jumped in a car and trying to speed off? Or is this maybe a man and a woman having a domestic dispute or something? It was her car. I mean, who knows? Who knows what it is? But whenever I called and I'm talking to these people who I'm paying and they work for, because if they don't want to just hear my voice, Noam, are you here?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's we the people right there. But I'm asking, hey, what's the background here? But they're always choosing to do this, well, call here or call there or something like that. Or they just choose to not even answer. I recorded that conversation because this was just last night. But I don't understand, when we're asking somebody something, why they can't answer. Because if you can't answer, that means you don't know. Now, I'm not asking, like, what is the nuclear code for the nuclear warheads that's sitting on the coast of, the East Coast or West Coast or something like that, to go to China. I'm not asking that stuff. I'm just simply asking, hey, what's the story here? because, what's out there is this, it's called journalism. You try to find out the whole story, and you want to know the truth of what's actually happening. But everybody has played. They're playing their part by thinking that they're going to push we the people away from the table. When we have a chair at the table, and we feast off of America that our ancestors created, and the immigrants who come in legally and gave up their status to become Americans and now are true Americans the right way. But now we have these invaders coming in here, and they're murdering people. They're on this terrorist watch list and everything else. And then you're seeing these murderers who's wearing the Power of the People uniforms, and they're point blank murdering somebody while they're being recorded, and then the other fellow accomplices are backing them up. Like, instead of them saying, "Hey, wait a minute, why did you shoot this woman in this car?" "Oh, well, she stole a car." So you're going to murder somebody because they stole a damn car. That's insane. Oh, well, no, because they tried to run over a cop. Well, the cop had plenty of time to get out of the way. And I'm calling it a cop because it was a cop, because cops is what murders people. They're judge, jury, and executioner. And I never employed nobody like that. These blue line idiots are the ones who's claiming their own flag and stuff, because my flag, American flag, is not good enough for everybody. Now they got to have a red line in there. They got to have a blue line in there. They got to have a pink line in there, or whatever else, But the red, white, and blue, it has stood the test of time, and it's got a lot of blood that has been spilt for that flag. So I'm just American flag wearer. I don't need another flag. So somebody's got to answer for these murderers who's putting on these Power of the People uniforms and murdering people. Like, who employed them? I mean, it has to start with the simplest things in this country, because that's how we got in the shape where we're at now. Everybody keeps putting down, little things. They keep putting all these little things they think aside, like, oh, don't be petty. No, there's nothing petty anymore. Not when I don't feel safe in my country. You feel safe? No? Huh?
No.
I sure as hell don't feel safe. Now, I wonder who's to blame for that. Oh, that would be me, right? That would be, no, it is. It is. We, the people, we're the one to blame. Because we keep allowing Brad Winstrip to run off and play whatever he's playing instead of doing what it is that he should be doing. It's called representing. When you represent something, that is what the people want done. Then you're representing them. Talking about what China's doing, hell, everybody knows that. What's he getting done? Whose ear is he twisting? How about a little titty twisting? Get something really going in there. Go up there and get Winstrip or whatever. Get a little titty twisting action in there. They like to be all freaky deaky anymore. You know what I mean? So do that. I don't care what you do. But this damn country belongs to we the people. And we're taking it back. Because all that's going on now is they want to weaken us. And that's what they've done. They want to make it to where no matter what you do financially, they'll make you out to be a crook. Try it. Think to yourself right now, what do you do financially that you ain't crossed a line and broke a law? I'm asking you. Nobody can say, I don't cross no lines, I don't break no laws, because it's the way it's set up. So, I'm calling because I want to know if he actually got a hold of Dwayne up there, and if we're really, really going to commit and send some people down there to keeping all these invaders out of my country. And 18 ain't nothing. That ain't nothing. That's laughable. Do you know how many that Florida's sent over there?
No, do you, sir?
I do.
I would like to know.
I
Okay,
do.
how many?
It's way over 18.
Sorry, I'm just...
And Florida's not the only one. I mean, there's other states and stuff like that, but you know, I would have to go back and check my notes and stuff like that to see, you know, because we're keeping track and we don't have our book. You don't have your book, will you? Do you know?
No.
But we can get that, you know, and you know what? That's information that we could probably get, you know.
Yeah, I guess there's only a follow-up question. I think that may just kind of come naturally. You know, are you at all concerned about your Ohio State tax dollars being used to send more of Ohio's resources to other states? Because I could see some constituents concerned about you paid your property taxes, you paid your state income tax, right? Are there any concerns about maybe those dollars and resources then going to another state and maybe not focus so much on Ohio in a sense? Because money is a limited resource, unlike what some members of Congress believe, where you just print more, and every dollar you have should be treated carefully and with a great deal of deliberation. So I just didn't know if you had any concerns about maybe sending too much to other states rather than focusing on Ohio, or if given just the severity of the crisis, nothing could be spared. I guess if that makes sense. I'm trying to phrase the question. I think it's a...
Well, it's okay. It's all right. Here, let me answer that real easy.
Yeah.
Do you know how many billions of dollars was lost in the debauchery of leaving Afghanistan?
Way too many, to say the least.
Well, you know what? Some people say it was 83. Some people says $84 billion. But do you know how long it would take you just to count to 1 billion? If you start counting 1, 2, 3 right now, and you tried to count to 1 billion, how long did it say it took to do that?
It was well over 100 years to do
Yeah,
it.
it's well over your lifetime, That's 1 billion, okay? And if you haven't seen the national debt or whatever, so I'm just going to sum this up. These dollar bills that they're printing and stuff, okay, that's called currency. It's not money. It's as fake as anything that you can imagine. A $3 bill, it's fake. It's a fugazi. Fake. It's not real at all. It's all in people's head. So as soon as people lose faith in that fugazi there, the fake dollar, it's done. I mean, people are going to lose their hind end unless you're into gold and silver and something tangible that you can put your fingers on. See, that's real money. That's money, something you can touch, and it's backed up, And every society that's ever went off of the fiat currency, which is what we have, it's a fiat, okay, it has went bankrupt over time. You already know this, don't you, Charles?
Yeah.
Okay, so when you ask me if I'm worried about taxes, that wasn't even supposed to be a permanent thing, but some greedy ass like I don't know, Obama, George Soros, Bill Gates, what's the other LGBTQ that owns Facebook? What's his name? Oh, Sucklebuck, that's him. Old Mark Suckle turd there. I'm gonna tell you something. If you really want to focus in on something, focus in on the border, because talking about the taxes is just a way. You know what? I've actually been talking to the younger generation. Matter of fact, I just did it yesterday. I talked to a couple, and they all say the same thing. It's like they're taxed to death. They can't make it. They're not real for sure why they're even working. Let me change that. The reason why they're working is because they have a work ethic and they want to have better. And they've been told that if they work hard, and they do, they'll be able to have something, you know? And these people are so smart to talk to. I mean, I've been to Kroger's and talked to them. I've been to ice cream shops and talked to the newer generation and stuff. And it's really amazing how smart that they are. But at the same time, they have been purposely led astray and put in the dark. And it's all by design. Like the whole going to college thing, that's a big bunch of wasted time nonsense. Okay, you go to college to do what? They offer you courses. Okay, you can be a nurse, or you can be an accountant, or you can, be a doctor or something like that, and you can work for us. Well, who is us? BlackRock, George Soros, all the Koch brothers, all these other morons or whatever that either one inherited a fortune of money that was already just handed over to them by somebody who done the corruption for them, and then they just carried on the corruption and become more and more corrupt. George Soros, do you know how that piece of crap made his majority bulk, of his money? Do you know how he done it? He shorted the euro or whatever it was. Now, if you don't know what shorting is, that's in the stock market. Do you know anything about the stock market, Charles?
Yeah, a little bit. I'm not an expert, but
Okay.
I remember reading up on shorting.
All right. Well, this thing with George Soros there is absolute. It's appalling, and he actually is one. Do you even know who George Soros is? Do you know anything about this skin bag?
Yes, sir. Isn't he formerly from Hungary? Now operates at lots of NGOs. And
You know what? Don't skip past
throws
that,
money around.
Charles. Don't skip don't skip past the very important part about old George Soros here, because no, he was actually from Hungary, born in Hungary or whatever, but his job was to take the land after they had murdered the Jews and then resell their land and stuff. I'm not going to say for positive, let's go back and check or no, do your own due diligence on that or whatever. But he actually, that's what he did, is he worked for selling off murdered people's estates and stuff like that. Look him up. It's sick dude, man. And he has zero remorse for any of that. Just absolutely none whatsoever, And now he has his son, who he's turning over power to and stuff like that. Again, one of those inherited dipshits who will take the inherited, corrupt, dirty money, currency, and then I'm sure they have money and currency. If I'm sure they've bought into gold and stuff like that. Because these are not stupid evil people. These are very smart evil people. So, so when you're talking about taxes, to me, everybody else is laughing at it. It's like, you're worried about getting taxes when we can't even pay to, pay our electric bill right now or feed our families or whatever. And how is this happening? Because you guys, and I'm talking about you sitting right there, this Brad Winstrip and all of them, all the government is to blame for the failure. All of them, Republicans, Democrat, don't make any difference. You guys was put in there to uphold the laws, and they're not being upheld, which is Constitution, which is not being upheld. Well, but then again, it falls back to we the people. So we're to blame because we allowed you guys to get in there and to lie to us, But what do you do with a lie? If somebody shows up and they say, hey, I can do this job, give me a chance, and then we say, okay, here you go, you've got a chance, now do something, and they don't do it, and it's like, you're not doing the job I'm paying you to do. Well, I'll try again. Okay, I'll let you try again, and you leave them in there, and after so many years of the same corrupt garbage and failures, but this is beyond a failure. This is downright stab in the back, treasonous crap garbage that's going on right now. Because we're supposed to have a border. It's supposed to be protected. Not just the border, but why are you protecting the border? You're ultimately supposed to be protecting we the people. Do you feel protected now?
Nope.
I sure as hell don't. I know I'm not protected. I don't. It's not just a feeling. I know I'm not protected. And I don't know how any of you guys, and I don't know why you guys are taking the weekends off, because I tried to call and there's nobody there on the weekends that'll answer my call. And you need to resend the message to Brad and tell him I don't want him taking off no more weekends. Okay?
Yes, sir. Just adding that as well.
Yeah, and also we're going to start with, I want to fire all of them. We need to start over. So Brad's fired. DeWine is fired. They're all fired. They need to get out of there. But if he's wanting to stay to the end of the year, then I need him to get something done. And also, what do we do whenever the people are calling in to our representatives or our elected representatives, and then their answering machine, the people that's working for us, when they hang up on us? What do we do about that? Because I have other Americans that's calling and they're getting hung up on and stuff when they're calling these representatives. Did anybody find out anything about that? Because I was hung up on. Not just me.
So I did look into that one, and unfortunately there isn't like a straightforward process. However, there are several ways to go about it. From what I gathered, one way is, sometimes you can try calling and speaking to a manager. You can send an email, because that's usually read by somebody different from answering the phones. So for in the case of Senator Brown, if you send an email that way, letting them know what happened, that is another pathway. And then also, there is the Senate Ethics Committee, which has an email open to the public where you can submit any types of complaints or concerns you may have about behavior, because, not only are the senators, but also their staff and all employees.
Okay, now the name of that is what now? Ethnic Committee?
I'm going to look it up to make sure I get the exact name. So
Okay.
it's the U.S.
Because we're actually talking about Sherrod Brown, Democrat in Ohio. His answering machine. What was that answering machine's name?
Mr. Patrick.
Oh yeah, Mr. Patrick. Mr. Patrick. Hung up on you too.
So it's the Select Committee on Ethics. And then where was it? Because I found it earlier.
Select Committee on Ethics. Okay.
Yep, and then I think I'm just trying to figure out where it was earlier. Because I found this, and then I was waiting to share it. And of course, I can never remember.
Charles, I feel.
Bear with me.
No, it's okay. While you're doing that, I feel compelled to do something for you, if you don't mind.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to give you an opportunity here. Why don't you hang up on me?
Because generally, as long as we have a belief that when it comes to our constituents and the people that we work for, we want to give them this time, space to have a conversation, to bring their concerns to us so that we can get it to the congressman. And generally, it's about good customer service. It's about, understanding a level of respect between the person calling and the person receiving and picking up the phone. So we just kind of developed that belief where it's just, you don't hang up on somebody unless...
So wait a minute. Now you're saying we though. I mean, I used your name specifically because I'm talking specifically to you.
Well, sir, I have never had a reason to want to hang up on you. You are calling as a constituent, as is your right, and you've always been respectful and willing to just have a good conversation. So, there's been no inkling or urge to ever want to hang up. It's never crossed the mind.
Well, I appreciate that. And one of so, I'll say thank you for that. But I really, really want to insert here. The first thing should be because we're Americans, and that that if the people that is calling in that you're working for has a problem or an issue or a concern or even a comment, that you're interested in making our country the best again, because we ain't now. We're not right now because we're not putting God first. If we put God first and we start treating each other with the level of respect and stuff, we can turn this around and have our country again, which is the greatest country in the world. But it's not right now. Not whenever I'm looking around and I see, queers and everything else being, put. And why is it that they have a month of recognition? LGBTQ, it keeps growing and growing, and it's the same way with the gays. It wasn't enough. They didn't have a day. Then they wanted a day. You give them a day. Then it became Gay Week. And then that wasn't enough. Then it had to go to a month, And, black people, why is it that they, need a day or a month or whatever? Aren't they just Americans? I mean, they're only Americans. And you know what? Candace Owens, brilliant American, absolutely amazing, brilliant American, period. Doesn't matter if she's green, purple, blue, or anything else. And I mean, the list goes on and on and on. I mean, so it just needs to be one flag, red, white, and blue. And that's what color I am, red, white, and blue. And that's what every American ought to be. So for you not hanging up, I would like to think that that you're sitting there and you're getting paid, but you're getting to sit there and actually see something firsthand that a lot of us, honestly, I didn't really care what you was doing. And that was the problem. That's the problem. Because if you just walk away and you say, well, here's a job, I don't want to mess with it, and you go away, you come back and somebody's supposed to be cleaning your gutters out, all of a sudden is in your window going through your underwear drawer and finds out you like to wear, underwear with little smiley faces on them or something, weird like that. I don't know, Alcohol was involved when you was buying them, I guess. I don't know. You see what I mean? You see what I'm saying, though? I mean, you can't walk away from somebody that's supposed to be doing... And here's the thing. Okay, you say, and this is the way this is supposed to be set up. This is the whole reason why that I'm calling my representative's answering machine right now, is because what's a representative supposed to do? And why do we have districts? You see what I mean? Because one person can oversee a certain amount of people or a certain space, right? I agree and disagree with what I just said. And the reason why I'm saying that is because if you're going to run for being president of these here United States of America, you better be sharp as a damn tack. Because now you're the one that I'm coming for if something happens that's not right. I'm going to come and make sure that you hold whoever else accountable, whoever's messing up, because you're that's the whole reason why that you hire a manager or something like that. That's so you don't have to go to the employees and say, hey, George, you did something wrong. Steve, you did something right, blah, 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 blah. You go to the manager and you say, hey, how come this ain't done? Then you have accountability, But if you're not enforcing rules, laws, and the Constitution and stuff, what good are you? What good are you? Because that's what makes us Americans, is because of our Constitution. And what makes us really good Americans and human beings is our belief and knowing that God is real. One nation under God. And right now, that's what they're trying to do, is make us feel indivisible. Invisible. So, but we the people are not invisible. We are here, and we're staying, and we're getting louder, and we're getting stronger because we're woke up now. And it's just like what happened, you know, in so many wars in the past and stuff, that you know, they poked the sleeping bear, and when we the people wake up, then things start happening. And it's just a shame that you can't go to sleep and rest anymore, because I'm not safe. We're not safe. And you know what? Let me tell you this. On my channel, I have foreigners who write me, and this one keeps really standing out to me. But he wrote, because I put something on about the border, and Noam helped me out here, but he says, well, why do you have a problem with these people coming into your country? You guys have no problem coming over into our country and doing bad things to us. And I'm not kidding you. I need to put this up on my channel. I really do. I need to put his comment and say, well, it's actually on there. I just have to figure out and find out which one it is or whatever. But y'all can like, share, and subscribe, please. But you guys could look up that comment. Do you remember which one it is? No, I'm off the top. Anyway, but he goes on, and you can clearly tell that this guy is like, hey, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. So here is what a lot of countries don't realize about Americans. We're not warmongers, but that's what all the comments and stuff and the people from Turkey and different places that I've talked to personally, that's what they think about us. Now, why do they think that? So what they're saying is they think that we go over there, and when I say they think, the reason why is because me personally, and Noam, you, and Amy, and the different people that I talk to all the time, I mean, there's so many people I can think of right now, but we don't say, let's go over to another country and do bad things to them and start a war so that our government, the very people that we don't like and we don't even want in there, but it is our government. We are in charge of this government. It does belong to we the people. So in fact, when they're saying this garbage, it is we, it is me, it is Noam, it is Amy, it is all of us. All of us. It's Charles right here. It's all of us, because it's our government. We're responsible for it. Whether it does something good or if it does something hideous, we're responsible. So that's why we're changing this. And it is going to change. It is changing already. I'm sure that you've been seeing changes and stuff already that's happening. If we can keep Donald J. Trump from getting assassinated, then we'll get this country way further back on track than what it is right now, which is not really a hard thing to do. I'm pretty sure, I don't know, I could probably find, I don't know, something like a squirrel or something like that's got a brain at all to actually run this country better than what it's being ran right now. And I really shouldn't try to say anything funny right now, because there's nothing funny about it. There's people dying. They're dying down there, you know, and if they're doing nothing wrong, why wouldn't they cross over the bridges rather than come through the water? If they're doing nothing wrong, why wouldn't they just drive across the bridges? Why wouldn't they walk across the bridges? If there's nothing going on, okay, why is there TikTok, which is China owned? And if you've got TikTok, then don't whine about trying to save America when you're helping the very ones that's doing this to us. Don't do TikTok. But TikTok.
I say I've never done that. Never downloaded it even once.
Well, thank you, Charles. Hey, I appreciate that. And you know what? That was really cool that you jumped in there and said that. That is what every American needs to do. our whistleblowers and stuff that we have right now are vitally important because, you know, they're whistleblowers. They're true-blooded Americans. Julian Assange, man, can you believe he's in prison? He's a journalist. And because he is informing you and I, the American people, he's in prison. That's insane. This guy was waking us up and telling us way before any of this COVID or this China puppet Biden Obama stuff even started happening. Julian Assange, do you know much about him? And what's the other guy? Super dude, man. What is his name? I feel so bad because I'm not going to be able to think of his name, but I can see him right now.
Edward Snowden.
Snowden. There you go. Charles, thank you so much, man. See, I'm telling you, I knew there was something about you. I've actually talked to Noam about you quite a bit, and I said, you know what? He's there. He's a good guy. I said, I can tell. And see, this is what we need. You don't be afraid whether you're wearing a uniform or if you're sitting there answering machines or something like that. But see, I know you're not just there answering that phone. There's more to Charles, and I'm telling you, I want you to do more of that, you know? Let your voice be known and stuff. Because we got to get this country back. They are, look, if you've got a shot of whiskey, Noam, you're tired of hearing this, I'm sure. But this is a really good analogy. If you've got a really good, expensive, well-made glass of brandy or anything, pop, whatever, it doesn't make any difference. Sherry, whatever you want. And you put a few drops of water in it, you can't tell nothing. You know what I mean? Especially if you keep adding a few drops of whiskey every once in a while, like once it goes down, you know. But if you add water in the same amount as you're adding the whiskey, okay, and then eventually you're getting more water than you're putting in whiskey, what happens? You wind up with a glass of nasty that, why would you even drink it? You know, it's not the same. It's watered down, you know, and that's what they're doing is they're replacing us at the table at America. Us Americans have our chair at the table. They've ripped out off the doors. They've ripped off the walls. Now they have all of these invaders coming in. And here's the thing. Here's what we really got to notice and look at is it's not these people's fault that they're trying. They're emptying. Look, Donald Trump said it, and I believed it, but it's one of them things when you see it with your own eyes and you see that they genuinely opened up prisons and said, okay, we're going to let you out of prison, but you have to go to another country. You have to go to the United States. But TikTok actually has a step-by-step right to one specific spot at the end of the wall, the metal wall that we the people paid for and Trump put down there. We the people put down there. To that one opening. It's the one you see the most whenever you're watching YouTube. Is they go right around that wall and with no problems. And you'll see the coyotes, they call them or whatever, that's driving these people up, letting them out. They take a picture of them. Why do they take a picture? Because they want to make sure that they get their money. And where's that money go? But they come right around that wall with no problem. Nobody stops them or anything. Matter of fact, they look for Border Patrol, which is the absolute opposite of what should be happening. Border Patrol, you would want to avoid so as not to be sent back or not let in. But they're looking for them because they know Border Patrol will clothe them and give them a ticket and process them and get them shipped right up to New York or Miami, Florida, which is unbelievable. All these states are supposed to be red and everything. You know what? That just dawned on me, Charles. Doesn't that really, I mean, the whole thing is bad. But when you have like such a massively red state like Florida is, and Ohio's supposed to be, but how in the hell is that even possible when you've got DeWine up there? If DeWine's a Republican, I tell you what, I'm a freaking goat. And I'm not a goat. I've ate some pretty wicked stuff like a goat. But anyway, that's a different story. What I'm saying is, why are we having sanctuary cities to even send these to? because they shouldn't even be coming in, period. You know, but you got TikTok giving you detailed messages about how to get here, what trains to take. The Red Cross is owned by these criminals because they are actually telling them how to ride a train and avoid capture and all that stuff. Now, if they're doing nothing wrong, why would you have to even worry about avoiding to be captured? But you see what I'm saying here? Like, why, if there's nothing wrong, why are they paying people to bring them across the water in a rowboat or float them across? You see what I mean? If there's nothing wrong, why are you doing that? When there's a bridge right there to drive across, why would you do that? Because there's something wrong. There's something wrong. We all know it. So what I want to know is when Brad is going to commit to actually really doing something that really means something. Like, I can talk about China. I don't need him to tell me that China's corrupt and that China is bad. We already know that. Anybody that absolutely is genociding on their own people and stuff like that is, I mean, you don't have to tell me that. It's common knowledge.
No, and I think it's unfortunate some people deny that, you know. I think that's why there's an effort to be said, because I know you and I know that, right? You and Naomi and many other the people know that, but unfortunately there's still many people here and elsewhere that, you know, buy into what China's selling. You know, they think it's all American lies. They think China's doing nothing wrong. It's quite frustrating, to put politely.
Okay, first thing that I'm going to tell you, Charles, is I want you to run for representative. You need to run for representative. I'm not even playing here. You need to run for representative. There's more to you than what you're letting on. But if you stand up for we the people like that, that's what we need. We need genuine, real Americans to get in there. You know what? Why do you think that Trump has been untouchable through these impeachments and stuff? Is your arm tired? No, are you tired? Here, I can set this down for a little bit. Here, I'll spot you for a minute. Why is it that you think that Trump just walked through all of this stuff? You good?
I mean, it could be. I'm not trying to spitball here. I'm not. You know, I don't know everything. I do my best, but.
Oh, it's easy. It's easy. You can do it.
Yeah. I was trying to think. Losing my train of thought.
You don't have to think. Why is it that you think that Trump got through all of these impeachments and, you know, they're trying to, you know, get him locked up and everything else, prosecution for this and all the garbage? Why do you think that it just don't stick? Do you think it's because he's so wonderful? No. Let me tell you why. It's because God is first and foremost and number one, and he is so wonderful that he give we the people, you and I, Naomi, Amy, all of us, every one of them. I mean, I've got so many people on the channel now, it's unbelievable, and I'm thankful for each and every one of them. But, you know, he give us common sense. We the people don't want him prosecuted. You know, we turned his mugshot into something awesome for him. And I really hope that he stays humble, because that's really where he it draws we the people to him, is when he's the most humble, is when we the people can really use him the most. You know, I've heard people say some really goofy things, and I've talked to him personally, and it never ceases to just blow my mind whenever they say it. Some of them.
What are some of those things?
Some of them. Well, I just talked to a liberal the other day, and they said, "Well, you know, I can't vote for Biden, and I will be voting for Trump, even though I don't really want to do that." And I said, "Really? You don't want to? Well, why would you vote for somebody you don't want to?" Well, you can see all the corruption. You can see that clearly this ain't working, so on and so forth. They was considering Bernie Sanders, believe it or not, which anything outside of Obama and stuff, but I mean, it's not hard to take a little step up from Obama, Biden. So, but I said, well, but if you really don't believe in, voting for Trump, why would you do that? They said, well, everything that he did was really good. Everything that he said that he was going to do out, that was in his control, he got done. And I said, but you still feel bad about voting for him? And they said, well, yeah. I said, please explain that. And you know what they said? They didn't like his attitude. They didn't like his attitude. Well, you know what his attitude is? If you don't like his attitude, you sure as hell ain't gonna like mine. You ain't gonna like mine. Because I am a winner. I'm not a loser, and I'm damn sure not a quitter. Now, I'm telling you, you hear these people, they'll say, oh, I'll never quit, I'll never quit. And then next thing you know, like Nikki Haley, really good example here, she said, I'll never, ever run against Trump. Well, I'm here today to tell you that I'm running against Trump, So, I mean, you have all these people that don't stand. Now, don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with changing your mind if facts or something's been shown to you, and then you realize, hey, wait a minute, there's a better way, or okay, that wasn't right. Let me, get on the right path here. I admire that. I can't stand somebody that don't know how to apologize. So, but I digress. Anyway, we have to. We have to all get focused in our country and get this country back under God. One nation, all of us stand together, But they couldn't touch Trump because we the people didn't want that to happen. That's how he got out of it. Well, that, and also they keep calling something an insurrection that's not an insurrection, They tried to make that something that it clearly was not. The man spoke and he said, go home peacefully, God be with you, and, the words that come out of his mouth was peace and everything else. But if you look at Camel Toe Harris and you look at, the Biden regime of Obama, and all that, I mean, what about whenever they lit the United States on fire? They burned all the stuff in New York and everything. Nancy Pelosi was telling them, yeah, we need people to go and kick their ass and everything else. Was that an insurrection? Because I want to tell you something, that was definitely an insurrection. When they said, oh, we need people to go and physically do harm and stuff, And that came from Nancy Pelosi. Speaker of the mouth. Do you remember that, Charles?
Yeah, it was during the summer, 2020, I believe.
There you go.
It was, yeah.
There you go. My God, look at you.
Summer of love.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I can see me now. I'll be putting out Charles signs. I ain't got your last name yet, but we'll be putting you down. We'll have to get you some signs made up and let you be a representative. Now, I'm glad that was a really good segue for the next point that I want to make. Why have a border if you're going to do it like this? Because do you know that they're wanting these invaders not only to weaken you as an American, remember the whiskey and pouring in the water, weaken you down? Okay, our worth, they're weakening because there's so many people and stuff, see? So that's what they're trying to do. It ain't going to happen. I know my rights and stuff. This day and age was planned because they wanted all of our parents and our grandparents and stuff who really went through, seen the wars and stuff like that and knew the Constitution and stood on it and stuff. But see, they're getting bad fooled because all this is doing is just like when they tried to prosecute Trump. They just woke us up even more and made us more determined is that you're not going to walk over we the people. And we learned our Constitution. We're learning the words to the Star-Spangled Banner, And, just real quick here, why does blacks need their own national anthem? Are you American or not American? Because you don't like the words to it or something? No, let's see. That couldn't be it because it's an inspirational, really amazing song. So what could it possibly be? Because no, did you write the words to it?
No.
Was you involved with creating the Star Spangled Banner or anything?
No.
Charles, was you? Oh yeah, we wasn't alive, was we?
Yeah.
That was done by people in the past. So why is it that they think now? And do you know that? And I'm talking about the people that's out of their freaking minds here, black people, that they're wanting us to pay us, you and I mean, as if we're, we got plenty of money to just pass out to everybody. Knowing when you like to sit and just get you a check for just being white all this time or whatever, I would, but is that going to happen? No, not going to happen. So again, I'm not talking about, to the really good Americans out there. I'm talking to these ones that done lost their mind, but that's white people too. That's white, that's Chinese, all these people that's lost their damn mind and trying to get money when clearly we should be thinking, how come we not spend money right now, pay back who we genuinely owe money to? And let me tell you, just like taxes, like you get a check for, let's say, $1,000. No, you don't get it, but your check says $1,000, and the people that I've been talking to here lately can definitely relate to this, Charles. But they get a check and it says $1,000. I'd be like, wow, that's pretty good. Well, now wait a minute. Now, you're not taking and putting $1,000 in your pocket or even in the banks, the corrupt banks and stuff. Right off the bat, you're having to pay taxes, which they said literally half of their check, boom, gone, taxes. That's insane. That's more than insane. Are you kidding me? And then they said, what's that? I'm sorry.
I was agreeing. Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah, over something that was supposed to be temporary. This tax business was temporary. But anyway,
Mr. Preston, I am so sorry. I had 2 cups of coffee. And
well, have you another one? Well, have you another one?
Would you mind just being put on hold for a second?
Hey,
real quick, or I'm happy to get.
You know what? You're doing this the right way. He's got to go pee, everybody. Can you hold on? Just pinch that off. Use your hand there, whatever you got to do, just for a second, and I'll try to wrap this up for you. I want you to make sure that you send this on to Brad. That I want the whole nonsense of even having to come to this country to vote. Okay. Why do they have to go through the whole thing if they're not going to come over here and be Americans, but they still get a vote? Well, why don't we just let China and all the rest of the countries, whoever wants to vote in our election, why even make the trip? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I know in D.C. they tried to pass something like that would have allowed anybody to vote in at least the local stuff, right? Quote, local stuff. And
no, anywhere. No, I mean anywhere in the world. Like, why even make the trip?
Oh, okay.
You see what I'm saying? Why don't you just stand in whatever country you are and just let them vote for who they want in our country? Because all they do is they just come over here. They have no skin or no blood or anything else in the game. So, and also, this right here, pass on, and then I will let you go pee. But why don't I don't no longer want this having to have a high school diploma in order to run for president or anything else. I think if you're breathing in and out, but of course, wait a minute. There's people that don't breathe in out that's actually dead that actually voted in our elections and stuff. So, yeah, this could go on and on and on. You probably better go pee, and I'll pick this back up with you again, Charles. But know this, I will be calling back in. I'm going to give you a few minutes, and then I'd say you'll be getting some more calls.
Okay, sir. I look forward to it.
Hey, thanks, Charles. God bless you, brother. God bless America.
You too. All right, goodbye.
All right, my buddy Charles there, the answer machine for Brad Winstrip, he had to go pee-pees. So we'll let him go pee-pees. I hope that he uses the right bathroom. You know, the whole, we don't know what gender thing anymore. You know, he might, anyway, maybe out of the billions of dollars that we're throwing away, maybe a little bit of money went up to putting the right sign up on the right door. This is answering machines. Go pee-pee here. Anyway, listen, this ain't really anything to be laughing at, you know, but we're in trouble. There's too much evilness, and you know, the biggest thing that I really am thinking about is this is God's planet. We're supposed to be good to one another, and there's so many of us that don't want this evilness, you know. I mean, and thank goodness that we have brilliant minds out there, you know. But now, see, even Tucker Carlson. Did you watch the interview with Putin the other day? If you haven't, I would strongly suggest that you watch it. It is, you know, he actually, in Putin's way, or kind of without saying it, said that Tucker Carlson might be working for the CIA. Things that make you say, what the shit's going on here, right? But I guess according to Putin, that Tucker Carlson wanted to be in the CIA, but was rejected or turned down, or anyway, he didn't. He didn't, right? I don't know. Is he in the CIA? Is he not in the CIA? Did they do this just to make us do what we're doing now? You know, but if it is, why would Putin do that? You know? Well, of course he is in his country, and you know. But anyway, I'll leave that there for right now. But anyway, go watch the interview. It's pretty good. Gnome, what did you think about it?
I agree with you.
Interesting. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, it was very, I guess interesting is the best word, you know.
Worth watching though, right?
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, listen. Appreciate you guys so much. If you watch this video, I'm telling you, genuinely, I appreciate it. I really do. And I don't care if one watches it. I don't care if two. I really don't care. If you watch this and you're a subscriber especially, man, I truly, truly mean this. I pray for you each and every day, and I thank you for your time, and I thank you for being an American and caring about this country, because, you know, my little guy is, well, first of all, my big God is God, and he tells us, you know, are you not your brother's keeper? Well, absolutely. Anybody can do something whenever it's easy to do, but it's when it's hard and when you don't feel like it. And believe me, I get to where I don't feel like doing this stuff sometime, but you know, if I can share and get this with one person that didn't know, or you know, I've had people that said, hey, you know, because I seen you call into representative, now I know how. And there's nothing that, you know, I really have to be worried about or whatever. And that now they're calling in to the representative. It makes me feel unbelievable, you know, that somebody, you know, that I'd help somebody like that. So, but Mike Lindell, I'm giving Mike Lindell a shout out. Use promo code, I don't know. Go find your promo code. I'm shouting out Mike Lindell and his company. They pulled him off out of just about everywhere. His advertisement is basically, you know, he's getting YouTubers and stuff like that to promote. He doesn't give me anything, and nor does he need to. But I'm telling you, go get you something from MyPillow. It's an awesome company, but it's a even more awesome owner of that company. So we appreciate you, Mike Lindell. What an amazing patriot. I mean, when you use the word patriot, for me, it's to special, true red, white, and blue American people, you know. The young lady holding this camera right now is a patriot, you know. This Donald Trump, patriot. Ted Cruz, Matt Gaetz, so many, you know. Now, I mean, these people are so incredibly important to us right now. It's just there's no other way to say it other than they're patriots. You know, really good patriots. So, with that being said, we're praying for you. Thank you for subscribing. Please like, share, and subscribe. God bless America. God bless you and yours. We're praying for you. Before I let you go, the phone number to call your representative is
202-224-3121.
So what is it?
202-224-3121.
So there you go. You had it straight from the horse's mouth. Thanks, no. God bless America. You and yours, we're praying for you. Thank you for praying for us. God bless America. Love you, Lord. Love you, boss. Peace out.